Yeah, Weege show here. This guy, Chance Hymas, was gonna go look at the track. No.
Ran into the wrong person.
Mm-hmm. Press day, you gotta do your press. And you sure as heck better because, are you aware you're the lone representative for Honda HRC Progressive?
I am Honda HRC Progressive.
You are. Do not dishonor the brand. Actually, how is it gonna affect, I mean, you even ride with the Lawrences.
Yeah.
You lost some of your riding buddies.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't really been riding with them because I've been testing. I've kind of just been doing my own thing. So
okay, so
honestly,
it's not...
I've been doing motos with my new training partner, Seth Amakers.
Your competitor.
Yeah, my competitor.
Yes.
So can't get away from that guy, but
yeah.
Now, it sucks being the only guy under the tent, but it's definitely a lot calmer, you know. They obviously bring a lot of energy around, so it's, I feel like it's pretty quiet around the truck, which, you know, sometimes is really nice. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's different. I've never been in this situation before.
No. This is another step for you, just like winning races or whatever it might be. Did you ever think someday the entire Team Honda organization would be here only for you?
I didn't think it was going to be this quick.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
It was going to happen this quick.
No. And you outlined something I don't think people realize, how loose it is, the atmosphere, and not just with the Lawrences. A lot of the team semis. I think people think it's strictly business and people yelling at people. And people be surprised how loose it actually is.
There's a lot of people in and out.
Yes.
They definitely do a little bit of crowd control, and this race is kind of nice, so there's no pit setup.
That's right.
How cold it is. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot calmer. But I mean, last weekend in Tampa, like there's especially first round of the year, like you forget how many people come in and out, and like you're talking to this person, you get pulled this way, talk to this person, pulled this way, talk to this person. At least around like this, it doesn't really happen. So it's nice. You can really just focus on doing your job, and you don't have to, you know, go talk to this guy, this guy, this guy.
I don't know how you guys do it, because I know, and anyone watching this who's even raced like locally, you're kind of a mess all day on race day, and I'm not racing for money. I don't know how you guys act normal, at least. You reasonably act social and normal, and I'm sure inside you're going nuts.
It's almost just as hard as the racing itself. Like there's so much going on at all times. Like it's what makes part of the race day so stressful as well.
Sure.
It's like it feels like you can never just relax, you know?
Yes.
Like, you do your qualifying. In between qualifying, you're doing autographs, you're talking to people.
Yeah.
You know, you get pulled this way, you know, it's just, I mean, it's part of the gig, you know?
Yep.
But it's definitely tough. I don't feel like people really understand that part of it. So that's what makes, you know, when we do it, however many weekends of the year, it's, you know, just builds, adds on.
Just think this way, when you go to your local race and you're super nervous all day, imagine a bunch of strangers asking you how you're doing and knowing if you act weird at all, they will hold it against you your entire life. So you better be cool and chill. That's basically what you're dealing with.
Basically.
Let's get to the performance side for you. The goal I know last week was just don't mess anything up. So was it mission accomplished?
Basically, yes. I had 4 days on the bike.
Wow.
Now I guess I had 5 days on the bike, or I guess I should say 6, including press and race day.
Okay.
Now I'm at, it's soon to be 9 days, including today. So,
double.
So, it was all right. You know, like obviously as a racer, I want more as always, but kind of looking at it where I had, you know, 4 or 5 days on the bike and 2 days of testing on the bike. That's, you know, originally I didn't feel like the bike was that much different than the previous model, but it is a lot different. So I was struggling all day on the new bike, and that kind of threw it for a wrench a little bit, especially first race back, and also starting to get my mojo back a little bit. That made everything a lot more stressful than it needed to be. But yeah, heat race main, had no sprint speed, but you know, once I kind of got in the groove, or I guess honestly once everyone passed me, I was like, all right, I kind of need to get my stuff together a little bit, you know. But no, honestly, like I was pretty happy with it because I felt like I did better than what, you know, I thought I was gonna do.
Yeah.
The goal for me was top 5. Like I feel like I could have top 5. That would have been like a solid night.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I got 6, so it was kind of whatever. Especially like I feel like after Pierce crashed and the red flag, I was like, we were halfway through. I'm like, I kind of just get through the night. Like, the whoops were pretty gnarly. I feel like they were pretty safe, but pretty gnarly. You know.
Yeah.
They could, if you weren't, you know, on your game, they could reach up and bite you. Honestly, anywhere on the track could have. So. Yeah, it was just good for me to just get those laps on. I feel like it was the first time I ever pushed through a whole main as well. So
ever?
Like, ever.
Yeah, so like this time last year at this race, it was no bueno, right?
No bueno.
No.
Yeah.
So you're way better than that, at least.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in a lot better spot than I have been the last 3 years, and that's, you know, saying a lot.
Yeah, you rode 4 times basically. That's still better.
Yeah. My preparation hasn't been ideal, but you know, it's part of it. You gotta roll with the punches, and honestly, it's everyone's always dealing with something. It's never gonna be easy. So yeah, it's part of the game.
You guys make me laugh because the whole idea from the start should have been chill, but no. Halfway through the race, you finally decided I better chill. You still had the racer mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't turn it off.
Exactly.
Gosh. All right, maybe you can walk the track, but it is press day, bro.
Yeah. Thanks.
Give the press day some time. Especially this TV guy. Okay, welcome to the Weege Show, which is brought to you by, what does he ride? The CRF 250R. They're not racing the factory 450s this weekend. By the way, I got a shirt with that, all the logos. See this, Alpine Stars? I have a theory on this shirt. You sent me the shirt. Okay. It has all the logos. Are they like, we want to make sure no one ever copies a logo, so we're going to make 300 logos. So it would be impossible. Whatever logo you come up with, we already have it. That's my theory on that one.
That's fair enough.
That's good. Yes. Yeah. Great job by the graphics department to come up with that many. And good stuff from Alpine. I said I needed warmth, and you guys provided some warm apparel so I can ride mountain bikes in the wintertime. So yeah, our show is brought to you by Honda and The Art of Winning, and my ad read actually says watch for the bikes in action. Well, a bunch of them are out of action. You will not see Jet or Hunter Lawrence this weekend in a series that is completely and totally flipped upside down 180 degrees from where we were 2 weeks ago. Obviously the biggest news this week would have to be the loss of Eli Tomac, with the backdrop of Tomac actually racing, actually with a broken leg. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And all for naught is the worst part about it. This will add to the lore and the legacy of Eli, that he gutted out a main event and I think got 17th with a broken leg. That will never be forgotten. But at the same time, all that effort won't get him anywhere as far as the championship is concerned. And it actually, in my mind, makes it even more heartbreaking because there really wasn't any doubt of the, as I said earlier in the year, psycho level of commitment and work he was willing to put in this year to try to come back and win this championship again when he could have been retired. We didn't really doubt that at all, but this just really stamps it home how badly he wanted it this year, the pain he must have been in, and to say, nope, I need points, I want this title that bad. It just makes you wonder what might have been for the series. Pardon the bad audio here. So we got Jack Chambers, welcome back to the United States.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make you turn this way.
Okay.
The audio will be better. Welcome back to Supercross. So he was racing overseas the last 2 years. EMX and MX2?
MX2.
And the MX2 the whole way. So what's it like jumping back in?
We don't race inside of these things.
No, yeah.
And we go a lot further than what you think, travel-wise.
Yes.
Indonesia was the furthest one I went to.
Yeah.
And that was honestly, everyone always asks me what's my favorite one, and I always say that one.
Yeah.
Not really because of the track, more because of the travel and just being able to like be free. I rented a scooter for the whole week. Went and saw monkeys, waterfalls.
Wow.
Snorkeling with turtles.
Because you can't, there's no riding going on.
Yeah. There's no practice tracks during the week.
Yeah.
Or anything you can ride at all.
Yeah.
So mechanics are just repairing bikes, and we go again the next weekend. So that was one of my favorite ones. But yeah, the difference between racing there and here is you really can't really compare it. The travel and the tracks and racing outdoors in the States. I've raced I think now 25 or 26 GPs, and I've only raced 4 outdoors.
Yep.
So the outdoor time over there was almost double with just comparing 5 rounds to 5 rounds. But comparing 25 rounds to 5 rounds, on the weekends it's 2-day schedule. You be there on Thursday night, your practice starts on Friday, qualifying races on Saturday, 2 motos on Sunday.
A lot.
Big weekend, not as much riding or training really during the week.
Yeah.
Do the cycles in the gyms just to kind of keep up to it. Maybe ride a day, do some practice starts during the week. But yeah, not as much training. So that's the biggest difference, I think. Here in the States, we race 1 day on a Saturday.
Yeah.
We go home, we're back on the track Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hammering, guys get hurt. You don't see it as often, I don't think, people getting hurt during practice.
Because they don't ride as much during the week.
And the tracks are so rough and so gnarly, it's slow.
Yeah.
Like Mummel, you don't go around Mummel at Hurling's pace every lap. You don't.
You would just be exhausted?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you would be fried for the weekend coming because then you got 2-day races. So it's a lot different managing schedules, managing fitness. Here there's so much practice during the week.
So I'm going to get back to Supercross in a minute, but I was wondering, riding those gnarly tracks, you have to have learned something.
Oh, yeah.
It has to have benefited you. For
100%. I got a question earlier that said, do I feel like I've lost, the advantage I would have had staying here in the States racing Supercross? And my answer is no, 100%. There is a side to it that is yes, but I think the positive of being able to travel the world at the age I was when I did it, and race a dirt bike, doing what I love, and being paid, it was kind of like, I can't give this up to be racing in the States. I've got time in the States. I was only at the time, I had 2 years left.
How old are you now?
22.
You're fine.
This will be my last year eligible in MX2. And I really was trying to make it happen. I had something lined up. It just didn't work out.
Oh, you wanted to stay?
Yeah, I was staying until I came back to the States. I came back and I was planning on going back over there.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if I can say who it was for, but they had a sponsor come in and they were paying a bunch of money, and I was waiting for him to tell me how much he was going to pay me. So I was not going to put in 100, 150 grand to go race the race and have nothing back.
But that's how much you liked it. You wanted to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was more for the experience that I enjoyed it, because I knew being able to race every weekend and Saturday, Sunday races is more than I'm going to get from going and racing on just a Saturday only at the U.S. Nationals. So for sure, I think the experience outweighed the negatives, and I'm excited to be back here racing Supercross. Yes, I did miss some time on Supercross. I'm getting my feet back under me, and especially the close racing that Supercross gives us. So I wouldn't say it's as close racing, and we've got a lot wider track. So it's completely different if you know the difference between outdoors and Supercross.
But it benefited you as a rider. I would imagine those tracks.
As a rider, for sure, and honestly, more as a person, like being able to grow up. I'm living on my own. My parents came over, I think maybe 5 times the whole time I was over there, and just for a week they stayed in hotels. Like I lived on my own, did my own thing, and I really grew up. So I think the maturity side of it definitely helped.
And you're on the SACO program. SACO highly endorses the living in England part.
Well, I had a bit of an argument to that. I learned in my first year living in England is not the best for going and racing GPs.
Go to Lommel.
Go to Lommel. I rode Lommel one time in my whole existence, and that was when I tested a bike for a team.
So you didn't do the Lommel thing a lot?
I didn't I missed out on that. Because the team that I was on was like, it's not worth it to send you over there. You've already done your base in sand in Florida. It's just so different, man. It's like Europe sand is an eye-opener for people that are like, oh, Southwick's just like, no way.
And nothing in Florida either.
No. And I was like, I'm riding some gnarly, roofed out, illegal sand tracks that nobody can even get to in Florida.
It's not the same.
It's not even close.
Dude.
I'm not trying to blow smoke like
it's legit.
It's legit. The guys over there, that's what they grow up in. They ride that. So maybe if you sent all the guys that race here in the States to that, we'd have the same outcome and be like, oh my gosh. So
so you do have the classic, and every American ever has a story. You rode a Lommel like one time?
Once,
Were dudes you've never heard of just blowing by you? Everyone has a story. Don't feel bad.
I think I went there on a good day where there wasn't as many people.
Oh, okay.
And I was kind of like, I was testing a bike for another team. So nobody knew who I was either.
Okay.
I was wearing gear that nobody knew. It was middle of the season. So
that's funny.
But there were some quick guys that I had never seen before. So
standard.
For sure. It wasn't a day where all the factory guys were there, luckily. At that time, I actually had a torn meniscus. And I was hiding it from everyone. I was trying to, my team knew, but the team that I was testing for had no clue. And that was a tough day. I took a Toradol shot, which are legal here in the States, and they don't even know about it, I'm thinking, in Europe. But Doc Bodner will give them to you if you hurt your pinky finger.
But here, they don't do it there as far as you know.
No.
I'm learning so much.
So I gave myself a shot for the day, and my meniscus is just flopping around inside my knee while I'm riding, and I'm just like, I just need to grit through it. They were super stoked with the way I rode that day. They were like, you've never ridden at Lommel and you're riding this good? Like, we like it. So I was like, sweet. Where do I sign, basically? So,
but that's the one that didn't happen.
Didn't work out, but it's part of it. I can't put anything on them, but everything happens for a reason. I got an opportunity as soon as that, you know, went out the window back here in the States. Now the team is practicing at my practice track. I got a 1.5-minute drive to the track every morning.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving it. In England, a minimum travel of 1.5 hours or 2 hours to a practice track in a day.
Dude.
Like you wake up at 6 o'clock, you do your warm up or whatever, and then you got to sit in the car. And British traffic is not that fun. So.
No, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
So your guy Julian, your team owner, he's even hanging out down there, right?
Yeah, he lives at the lake property that we own in his camper, just right on the lake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it worked out for the best.
It did. It did.
It did.
Everything
work out
happens for a reason. So.
All right, go Ryan.
Yeah,
Jack Chambers, welcome back. All right, that's gonna wrap the Weege show. I got a TV meeting to get to. Everything's a little different this weekend. It's a day race. Racing starts at 3 Eastern tomorrow. Keep that in mind, 3 Eastern tomorrow. And that means everything shifted earlier today and tomorrow for us. Hopefully you got some interesting information out of it. I am going to just sum up all the craziness over the last couple of weeks, 2 of them, in the AMA Supercross here, like this. I know it's very tempting right now when you're taking Cooper Webb, who has become an all-time master of managing championships and series. You figure he's not gonna fumble the ball here. And Chase Sexton, what's up, Joey? Even when he goes down, he always gets back up. So you're talking 2 guys who, for the most part, very rarely go out the way we've seen other riders go out this year. But we're only at round 6. We're only at round 6. There's a long way to go to say, well, I think we know where we are. There's only 2 guys that can win this title now. I think we're a long, long way from being able to say that, considering what we've seen the last couple of weekends. So I would just say anything and everything is on the table at this point. Buckle up.